Hey, it's Mickey here, back on our journey here. Stopped by the rose garden here. It was beautiful. I'll add some pictures of it. Continue on the way. Oh yeah. You know what? The miles that I got walking through the rose garden will add on to the trip. So the bike didn't really go into the park. I guess I could have ridden it. All right, we're heading back on the Taylor Street, the street that does not have the bike lanes. Okay, here we are. We're passing by O'Connor Hospital. Interesting thing to note, this is where I was born, this hospital right here. O'Connor Hospital. Still here. It's an old hospital, but this is where I was born. So. Alright, we're going to go down this bridge here. I never mentioned that yesterday, by the way. May use the full lane. Sure, it's a pretty wide lane. So that means I could ride in the middle and they would have to wait behind me. Or go to the other lane. That's okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay on the right. I don't know why the hell you'd want to stay in the middle of the lane. You got to make yourself less of a target when you're riding a bicycle, right? Okay, we made it. There it is. Forest tailoring. And so we have, we're at 35% and we've gone 25 miles. So pretty good so far. Looks like we'll make it home. Like I said, I guesstimated that if we're at 25% or something, when we get here, we're probably, okay, here's me here. I got my bag and we're going to go RTB. So what I might do, is, let's go hop on the bike real quick. Alright, we're going to go ahead to the right here. I know, it just kind of gets boring just kind of sitting on the bike. We're going to go down this way with all these fast cars here. And okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be pretty low on charge when we get back. I think we'll make it back home, but what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna go keep on riding around the neighborhood until the battery is like almost depleted. If you're going out, yeah, we're gonna make a right here on heading also. If you're going out, oh, I want a $1 Slurpee with a Pikachu on it. A $1 Pikachu Slurpee. But I can't slurp and ride at the same time. Anyway, so we're gonna go home, and I think we'll have, I don't know, we're at 25 miles. So we'll probably be 30 something miles, and then when we get back, I'm just gonna keep on riding around the neighborhood until the charge is almost depleted, and then we'll see how many miles it gets to. But yeah, so this is, I mean, it was supposed to be a test of like real world city riding, with me on it, the backpack, my motorcycle gear, and low power mode. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll let you guys go. I'll let you guys when I get close to home, I'll shoot some more video. Maybe when we get to the 30-mile mark. So far, it's been real, man. It's been real. Look, we're passing cars right now. It's awesome. We could totally pass cars if we had a faster, bigger, smaller sprocket. I kind of do wish it was like a bicycle, with the derailleur and everything. You could switch gears and stuff. That way you could really, you know, optimize the power, you know. But alas, this is smaller like a motorcycle. Motorcycles don't change gears with different sprockets. That's what they have a transmission for. I think a transmission just adds more complexity to everything, you know. Honestly, if you didn't have to have one on a motorcycle, I would rather not have one, you know. But it is fun to shift. I'm not gonna lie, it is fun to shift. It adds a little extra element to the to the riding, you know. All right, here's me up. I'd like to point out we're riding at like pretty much 20 miles an hour right now. So remember, if you remember correctly, when we started, we were doing like 22s and stuff, and we can't do that anymore. After 50%, the bike just, you know, just doesn't have the voltage to maintain that 22 miles an hour anymore. Now, if we put it in high power mode, I bet you we could, but let's not do that for now, since this is a low speed test. So the only time I use high power mode is when I wanted to get the regen from the high power mode. That's it. So we could, you know, so I didn't have to use the brakes. And so we could conserve some power, put some power back into the battery. And, yeah, so that regen button idea sounds like a good idea. If I can figure out how this switch works, I'm pretty sure this switch is a toggle switch, you know, it just connects two wires together. So if you had a button that did that, you know, then you could momentarily add high power to it, and I think that would be cool. That would be cool for city riding. What is it? Get up to speed fast and then it just stops. Speed limited. All right. Yes, we just passed all the cars, man. So I was thinking, like, hey, you know, this make a great commuter. There's a moped, registered Light Bee, make a great commuter bike. Yes, it does. The only thing is, like, you can't put stuff on it, so you have to ride with a backpack, you know. You probably don't have to ride with all the motorcycle gear. It's a good idea, you know, but especially today on a cooler day. On a hot day, it kind of sucks wearing all this stuff. But yeah, you don't have to wear all this stuff, man. But you probably should, especially if you're going to be riding it in high power mode. Then just smashing on it. I'm going to put it in high power mode and get my regen. And I just touched the brakes now. Alright, and then, I think this would make a great commuter bike. I mean, that's what I think a lot of people, that's what the previous owner of this bike did with it. They commuted with it. If your commute is within, like, 15 miles, I'd say. I wouldn't go 20 miles, because 20 miles you'd have, like, no juice when you came back. So if your commute is in, like 15 miles of where you live, this is great, you know. And it's even better if you can keep it inside somewhere and charge it, you know. That would be great, you know. If you could keep it indoors, out of you know, thieves' eyes, and charge it. Like buy an extra charger. I think the charger is like $125 or something, you know. That's not too expensive, you know. It's not like that's about how much like a cheap EVSE costs, you know. And yeah, you could just use this for commuting, you know, and it's a lot less maintenance than, say, like my Impulse, you know. Yeah, it's got big wheels and stuff, so it's comfortable to ride. You could ride as a dirt bike if you wanted to, you know. It'll easily climb hills like this right here, you know, in like high power mode. The guy on the scooter is all looking at me. Yeah, man, this is a lot cooler than what you're riding. You can't rent this one. Maybe one day they'll have rentable Sur Ron Light Bee. That sounds like a good idea, actually. But I don't know. It's $4,000 a bike, you know. I wouldn't want people freaking thrashing my bike, you know. All right, so I can just let off the throttle here. It really doesn't do anything, you know. When you go through your max speed, we're at 23 miles an hour right here. I'm going to try to coast to the stop sign. Oh, never mind. Let's keep on going. Turn green. Oh, another good thing about commuting with this is the parking. It'd be a lot easier to find parking with this guy. I mean, yeah, you could park it on the street like a motorcycle, or you just park it like a bicycle, pretty much. So you have a lot of parking options with this. You know, I think certain places they don't want you to lock your bike up to like poles and stuff. But I mean, if they have like a bike rack, you can totally park your Sur Ron there. You know, I don't see why not. I would park my motorcycle at bike racks and stuff too. You know, but if there's a parking spot, I'll take it. You know, but then somebody can knock your bike over and stuff. You know, it's kind of annoying. There we go. I just passed the transit patrol sheriff. I don't know what kind of jurisdiction they have, but I think they can probably pull you over if you're right around the transit area, which is where we are right now. Another good reason to commute with the Light Bee compared to a bicycle is it's less likely to get a flat tire than a bicycle. Bicycle tires, you know, so, well, what's another reason? I don't know. What's one reason it wouldn't make a good commuter? Well, it is almost like a bicycle. It's easier to steal than the motorcycle because it's heavier, you know. It's lighter. It's lighter than a motorcycle, but it's heavier than a bicycle. So, I mean, there's a key. What I would do, you know, if you're gonna park it someplace shady, you know, someone might steal it. I would turn it off, obviously, and take the key, and then I would flip the breaker, open the battery tray, and flip the breaker. Yeah, so that's another thing. It's easier to steal. It's easier to steal than a motorcycle, but it's harder to steal than a bicycle. So I mean, you're like kind of in between. It's heavy. It doesn't have pedals. They can't pedal away with it. You know, but they can push it. So I mean, if you're for me, I'm always gonna bring a bicycle lock with me, U-lock, and then I'm gonna put it in high power mode for a second here, so I can beat the light. Hate that light, by the way. Yeah, so yeah, that would be one of the drawbacks. It's easier to steal than a motorcycle, but if I would always lock it up. I would lock it up like a bicycle, you know. I'm riding with a U-lock in my backpack right now. If I need to stop somewhere, I'm gonna lock it to like a pole, like this bus stop sign here, or a bike rack. And there's bike racks, you know, pretty much everywhere, you know. What else? Yeah, it would be kind of easy. Oh wow, it's starting to rain now. Should I just head straight home now? We're pretty close to home. All right, so we just hit the 30-mile mark, and we're at 23%. 23%. So this is about the threshold where, like, oh, you better start charging your bike soon. So, but it's still moving. I'm still going wide open throttle. We're going 19.5 miles. Yeah, we have 19.7 miles. Barely 20 miles an hour, basically. Okay, so we're pretty much made it home. I did it. So mission accomplished. We hit 30 miles, not bad, and we got 22 miles left. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is, what we're going to do now is we're just going to try to milk however much we can out of the battery pack. Say until we get to like 10%, you know, less than 10%. I'm just going to do laps around this whole neighborhood, and then we'll do the thing, you know. We'll see how many miles we can get out of this battery pack. Mind you, it is pretty cold today, so electrons don't flow so well when it's cold, but it's not super cold. Just a little bit chilly, so that may affect it a little bit. But we're at 22%, and we're just gone 30.6 miles. So, all right, here's we go. And then, oh, the battery does. I hit low voltage cutoff. It's not, that's it. That's it, game over! Game over! 36.6 miles and I hit low voltage cutoff. We're at 6%. I'm literally right down the block from my house though, so what I'm going to do is turn the bike off, turn the bike on, and ride it. Ride it very slowly home. How about that? Part throttle. As soon as this Corolla passes. Come on, okay. Maybe I'll like kind of kick with it too. Kick with it. Yeah, let's just go wide open throttle. We'll see if we can do it. Alright, still doing wide open throttle. Can I get a 37? Can we get 37 miles? Let's see. Well, I'm going to go down the block and just turn around real quick. Or I'm going to go down this little cul-de-sac here. Oh, it's super slow now, man. Oh, there it hit. We hit low voltage cutoff again. Okay, so we're at 5%. We almost made it to 37. We'll pretty much say that's 37 miles. I'm going to turn it off. Turn it back on. And we're going to try to limp it back. Just limp it back home. Okay, so that concludes Hades Omega's city low speed moped ride in the city with his Sur Ron Light Bee. So this bike, like I said, it had like a 62 sprocket. I'm wearing my motorcycle gear, and I got a backpack on with like a lock in it, pretty much. So I'm a little heavier than normal. But yeah, so there it is. We got 37 miles. That's it. And then it just doesn't want to go anymore. Like I wouldn't really want to ride this anymore because it'll just quit on you, you know. Can we get it up the driveway? Yeah. All right. So 37 miles was what I got in city riding, in low power mode for most of the time. Like I said, I tried to flick it to high power mode to get the regen to slow me down so I wouldn't have to use the brake so much also, and to save some of that power, you know. And so I was able to get 37 miles. And so it was advertised that you can get 40 miles of charge on this in low power mode. You know what? I think that's a plausible claim. We got 37. That's 37 GPS indicated, by the way. We weren't using the Sur Ron's computer, so I'd imagine the computer will read a little more. That's probably where they're getting the 40 miles from. If you're using the computer and the stock sprocket, that's probably where they got that number from. I'd imagine like with the 62 sprocket, it shouldn't be as stressed as much. That's for sure. It wouldn't put as much load on the motor because you got so much torque. Okay, so let's get some stats. 37 miles. We got 5% charge on the battery. It's blinking. It's blinking and it's stuck in like a low power mode. I guess you could put it in high power mode, but it will just hit low voltage cutoff right away. It'll just die right away. So you do not want to put it in high power mode when the battery is low like this. It'll probably be bad to keep on running the battery down. I'll probably just throw it on the charger right now to get it to like 20% real quick. So here's some more riding stats for you. So we rode a total of pretty much 37 miles, 36.97 miles. We hit don't pay attention to the max speed. I messed up yesterday. I put it in high power mode and I just goosed it going up the bridge yesterday. We did a moving average of 17.2 miles per hour, and we total ride time of 3 hours. We were riding for like total 3 hours, but we were only moving for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So that's probably whatever time I used to like when I was going off to the Rose Garden or something or whatever. And also this is a 2-day test, by the way, 2-day test. So there you go. You can get close to 40 miles. You can get close to 40 miles. Would I push it to 40 miles every day like that? No, I wouldn't. I would say 30 miles. If you a 30-mile range, like so that would mean 15-mile radius. If you're not charging where you're going, it would be a 15-mile radius that you could ride this bike. So yeah, if your commute is within like that much, or wherever you're going, then yeah, you're good to go. I was able to make it to Santa Clara. I probably could have made it to the next city over. I probably could have gone like to Cupertino or something. But then yeah, I probably might not have made it back. So, but yeah, so 37 miles, 5%. I wouldn't ride it anymore. It's like it's running in like a low power mode right now. No regen. You lose regen after 10%. I found that out. After 10%, it did not. I was trying to throw it in high power mode and get the regen, and like, it didn't work. So, and then yeah, so there you go. 37 miles. So 40 miles was what was advertised on the website, and that's pretty close. But after 40 miles, you'd be dead, man. There'd be nothing left in the battery. So you don't want, in my honest opinion, you don't really want to run it lower than 20%. If it was like an emergency or something, or you just needed just to go a little bit farther, then yeah, you can probably I would probably run it down to 10%. But lower than this, and it's not good for the battery to run it down that low. That's why they have that low voltage cutoff. It's a safety mechanism. It's a safety feature, so you don't damage the battery. And if you keep on trying to force it to do that, then you're lowering the life of your battery. Man, I got this bike muddy and stuff now. Dadgummit. I told you not to ride it through the mud, man. Oh well, it's okay. It's a dirt bike, man. It's supposed to get dirty. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed the ride. Yeah, so it gets pretty close to 40 miles. Let's make out. Wow, it looks like I got home at the right time, because it just started coming down. I would have been like super wet. Alright. Here's the big out.